Oh yeah, baby. It's Bigfoot. Holy smokes, look at that. Look at that.
I
You're
love
fucking totally decked out.
how you're rocking the Elks. I'm rocking the Oilers. We're both
I gotta figure out this microphone thing
we're
here.
ready to go.
Oh, here we go. Voice focus.
Focus that fucking voice, bro.
All right, here we go.
HD, bro.
High definition. That's what we do. That's good, my man. We got the Kings and Bruins playing right now as we speak.
The Kings and Bruins, bro. Let's go. Is it scoreless? Is it 0-0?
Yeah, it's early in the first midpoint of the first year.
Right on.
Yes, sir.
Anze Kopitar busting out a hattie the other night, going back to like fucking NHL 18 days. Like, what's up with that?
Yeah. Yeah, he's playing good. He has to. He has to be a leader on that team. The team's a young team on the uprise. They seem to be getting rid of quite a few of their prospects and whatnot, but they keep Kopitar and they lost Doughty. So,
Yeah, that's
what's going on, Jordan, man? Oh, you stamped yourself. It's all over your face too, son. My son
right
just
on.
come and showed me how he stamped his whole face and stamped his whole arm.
That's awesome, man.
That's
awesome.
But he was just sniffing the stamp. So way she go.
He
Anyways,
can
Ralph Lavoie, poor Ralph Lavoie. That's all I gotta say. Poor Ralph Lavoie. I've been placed on waivers like 40 times since the start of the season. Him and the Vegas and Oilers seem to just keep trading him back and forth for nothing.
See, and that's what I don't understand, because so like the whole thing, the way I understood it is Oilers, when they wanted to send him down, they had to put him on waivers the first time. So then Vegas claimed him. So the rule is when Vegas put Ralph Lavoie back on waivers, if the Oilers would have been the only team to put a claim in, they would have been able to put him right down to Bakersfield. But what happened was a team higher in the stand, because it goes based on last year's standings right now. So what happened was Ralph Lavoie got put on waivers by Vegas. Oilers put in a claim, but there's high speculation that the other team to put in a claim was the Colorado Avalanche, because they're dealing with a lot of injuries. So, of course, the Oilers got him, but in order to put him in the minors, they had to put him back on waivers again, which allowed Vegas to put a claim in, and no one else put a claim in. So that's like some shady shit right there. So I don't understand how Colorado wanted him the one day, but then the next day they're like, nah, like we'll let him go down. So Vegas and Edmonton, man, fucking Vegas. You gotta hate Vegas, bro.
I do. I don't. It started off as a good feel-good story after their mass shooting and then going to the Cup final. But since then, they've just been the dirtiest players in the game. They're the Ric Flair of the NHL right
evolution.
Now. They're just dirty. They take all the long-term injury reserve. They got Mark Stone probably out all year again.
Brother,
is he playing?
Mark Stone is off to like one of the best starts of his career. Goal and 2.
Well, yeah, he's actually playing for once. Usually he's on the injury reserve about this time.
He had 2 apples last night. Like he's already him and Jack Eichel, man. Like Jack Eichel, Barbashev, Mark Stone line. So Mark Stone taking the place of what used to be Jonathan Marchessault, who's now in Nashville. Like, dude, they're looking good, man, Vegas right now. But they're a hot and heavy starting team. They've done it every year. They start off super hot, and then they just all of a sudden, what happens in Vegas? The house starts to win, and everything evens out.
Yeah, Vegas. They're going to be a team. They're one of the 4 or 5 teams in that Pacific Division I give a good chance of making the playoffs. They got Edmonton, Vancouver, Vegas, LA, and Anaheim on the bubble, but I really don't think Anaheim's going to make a push. They're just maybe one of the surprise teams. Another surprise team, maybe Seattle. I got to give you props, though. Your boy in Utah, Dylan Gunter, is just tearing it up, buddy. You made that prediction preseason. I'll tell the people. That's your boy, and he been on fire.
I used to walk that young man to the school bus, bro. I really didn't, but it sounds good. It sounds good. Oh, and we need to make a plug. Me and your boy Bankston. We're gonna do this new thing. It started on the first Oilers game where we're gonna both start calling into the overtime open line after the games, and we're gonna hit them with some stuff. But I also have a little bit of a challenge that my one buddy said. He said that we should try to super troopers them. And by super troopers them, like say a word that sounds like something. So mine, I'm gonna try to use the word Blumpkin.
Blumpkin. Wow.
And I'm gonna wonder why the Oilers just don't Blumpkin chase a little harder than the other teams.
Like a little bit of Blumpkin carving this time of year, you know.
Whether you're
me and the kids were just Blumpkin carving and watching the game.
Whether you're carving a pumpkin or getting a Blumpkin, happy Halloween.
Jeez Louise. All right, well that's one. That's one. I don't know. What should I do? You know what? I'm gonna leave it up to the viewers. Oh. What should I say when I call in? What should my super troopers say and be? What should I try to get the what should I try to get Rob and who's the other guy? Griff or Bryn and Rob. What should I try to get those fellas to say?
Bryn Griffith and Rob Brown. And Robbie Brown, as everybody knows, man, local legend, Pittsburgh Penguin legend.
Hartford Whalers, baby.
And you got to feel bad for a guy like that. He gets traded in 91, and then right after the Penguins win the Cup. So you got to feel for a guy like Robbie Brown. But you also got to admire a guy like that. You know, he was out of the league for 6 years, played in the IHF or IFA, whatever, the
IHL. The International Hockey League. Yeah.
So he played there and then on a PTO worked his way back on the Pittsburgh Penguins, played for them for another 3 seasons. So
and played for Buffalo for a little bit. He was, of course, part of that late 90s Buffalo team with Hasek and whatnot. So he has quite a bit of experience. Former 40-goal scorer, former 100-point man in the 88 season where Mario Lemieux had 199 points. So close to getting that 200-point season, but not quite to be. But, yeah, 88 goals that season for Mario Lemieux, 40 for Robbie Brown, baby. He's a beauty.
Robbie Brown is, man. You know what? And when he gets going, he's got some personality, so I like that. But speaking of the Oilers, man, taking on the Chicago Blackhawks tonight, a lot of people, like, obviously Chicago's off to a tough start, 0-2, but – man, anytime, and the Oilers have been saying it, the media has been saying it, anytime a team comes into Edmonton now, they're going to bring their A game. Connor Bedard, just like the way Draisaitl and McDavid wake up when they play Crosby and Malkin. Bedard, he might be like a one-man show, but he will show up tonight. A little bit of segue. Bro, when Bedard yesterday dangled through the whole Jets team and Nick Pionk just stuck that hip out and fucking sent him flying, I was like, that is my boy. I love Nick Pionk. I want him to be an Edmonton Oiler. I doubt they'll be able to afford him, but if he goes to free agency, man, throw that guy some money.
He's an Edmonton Oilers killer. Every time Edmonton faces Winnipeg, he's all over him. Like, definitely a guy that you want on your team. Because, Pionk, he's a good, solid, makes smart plays, good defensively, strong, powerful guy. He's not afraid to mess around in the corners. I love him.
One thing I'll say, man, a GM like Kevin Cheveldayoff in Winnipeg, like, there's been a few guys that have wanted out of there, like Jacob Trouba. Hey, what's up with that? Jacob Trouba wanted out of there. Looked just like Ryan Bankston, baby.
Oh, yeah, that's mini me.
Love it.
Little so Trouba, Bigfoot, baby.
They send Trouba to New York. They get Nick Pionk. They get some picks. They do really good with that trade. A win for Winnipeg. Last year, Pierre-Luc Dubois wants out. They send Pierre-Luc Dubois to L.A., who I wouldn't have even traded Gabe Vilardi one-on-one for. Not to mention that they freaking get Gabe Vilardi, Alex Iafallo, a second-round pick, another prospect. Like, Winnipeg just shelled LA.
Oh, yeah. I follow another guy who absolutely destroys the Oilers every time he plays against them. I follow and Pionk, two guys I'd both want in the Oilers lineup if the opportunity presented itself, because it'd almost be like addition by subtraction just to take them off the other teams because they're so deadly against you.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of the game tonight, you know, like, I know it's early. I know you want them to have chemistry, but I was talking to my brother, and he made a lot of sense with this, man. Second line back in the day, when you had Yamamoto with Draisaitl and Nugent Hopkins, what made that line so good was Yamamoto was tenacious on the puck. He'd go into the corners. He'd battle a lot like Victor Arvidsson does. I'm wondering, should the Oilers flip Nuge with Skinner just like for a game, see what happens, try and get that second line some chemistry where you have players who have played together before, rather than, like, right now you got to think, like, our first line, they've played together before. Our second line, never played together. Third line, they've played together. And our fourth line, same thing. Not a lot of chemistry there. A lot of, like, nuances going on. Our defense, man, it looked bad. It takes a lot, and it's a lot to ask of Ty Emberson to come in and be a top 4 defenseman at his age when he's got 30 games under his belt. Like, that's just wild, like, to do something. You got to bring in, I don't know if he's in shape, if you call up like a Kevin Shattenkirk or something like that for the year, or I don't know. But you need to do something. You cannot have PTO Travis Dermott playing his offside with Darnell. Where's the puck, Nurse? You can't do it.
Yeah, it seems like Nurse is a better player when he has more of that puck moving defenseman with him. There's a guy over in Russia, out in Siberia right now, who's apparently an absolute poison cancer to the locker room, who's available, and that's our man Tony D'Angelo. But a couple guys over in Russia lighting her up right now. But yeah, I don't really see the Oilers getting much help unless it's through trade or through waiver wire. Maybe they might be able to grab somebody who's they're gonna have a price tag on him if you're going to get a top 4 defenseman through the waiver wire, and it's probably going to not be of value, but that's kind of the corner you've painted yourself in. I'd like to see Edmonton, perhaps make a move with Columbus, rid some of their salary, and get a top 6 defenseman for, just whoever you can dump. I mean, you got, I think, little bit more than $1 million in salary cap space. So if you're able to get some of that salary cap from Columbus, because they are below the floor of the league minimum because of the Johnny Gaudreau tragedy there, and they are given grace by the league to be able to reach the floor. So the Oilers have a time to construct a deal. I mean, that's an opportunity I think a lot of teams are going to take advantage of. They're going to try to construct a deal where Columbus takes some of their dead salary and improve themselves. And so I definitely see Edmonton trying to get that 4th defenseman. I definitely see them needing a 3rd goalie. I mean, especially after the performance in night 1. Skinner wasn't sharp. I mean, let's be real. He had a short off season. He's probably played more hockey in the last 365 days than he had in the last 700 days combined. So, I mean, he's probably a little worn out. He's I'm a huge fan of Skinner. I like Pickard too, but at the end of the day, those two guys aren't going to be the only 2 goalies playing in the crease for Edmonton Oilers this year. I definitely think they need to go, whether it's through a waiver wire or a cheap trade or signing one of these UFAs that are experienced and bringing them in order to fill that 3rd spot. I think the Oilers definitely have a little bit of shuffling to do on the deck. What do you think?
Maybe.
Definitely. That's a definitely.
We're getting hit with a maybe there. That's our inside edition. That's the scoop.
That's
maybe.
The scoop. That's the little Bigfoot.
This is my way too early Oilers summer blockbuster move. I have a feeling that the Oilers, and you reminded me of it because you mentioned Columbus. I think the Oilers somehow find a way, and Darnell Nurse wants out. I think the Oilers trade Darnell Nurse to the Columbus Blue Jackets this summer.
You know, I wouldn't doubt they try to do it even before then. Like I said, that's $9 million in salary Columbus could use with a defenseman they could use to bolster their D. I mean, I don't think the Edmonton Oilers have the depth on left defense in order to do that. That leaves them with literally.
That's a summer move for sure.
Yeah, they definitely don't have the depth to do that this year. At the end of one period right now, it looks like the Kings and Bruins tied at 0. We got the Predators and Red Wings coming up 5 o'clock later tonight. I think I'm going to have to take the Preds on that one.
I hope so, man. I got the Preds too. Not that I gamble all the time, but I do.
Play Alberta right there on the Edmonton Oilers jerseys now.
Yeah, so I got my pool in. I got my picks. I got UC Saros going over the Red Wings, so I'm really hoping that happens. Who knows? You could be looking at a guy who's $3,000 richer and just doesn't even know it.
Doesn't even freaking know it. Next up, we got the Senators and Canadiens. Jordy, man, who you got? Senators or Canadiens?
Canadiens.
Like Montreal Canadiens, you heard it here first. We got Nostradamus here. Canadiens off to a hot start here. 1-0 victory over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ottawa Senators also off to a hot start. I'm going to have to clash with you. I'm going to have to clash with you, son. We are going Ottawa Senators.
I'm going Ottawa. I'm going Ottawa as well. Just beating down on the kids' dreams right there.
That's all right. They got to learn to lose before they can learn how to win, just like the Oilers.
I love it.
We got next up the New Jersey Devils, Washington Capitals. I'm going to have to go with the New Jersey Devils on this one. Yeah, New Jersey Devils, concurrence. I don't see Washington doing much this year at all. So, yeah. Next up.
Tonight, though. Ovi's going to get a goal.
I hope so. I hope he scores every night. I hope he gets a 50-goal year and breaks the all-time 50-goal seasons record and breaks the all-time goals record all in 1 year. Wouldn't that be dope? Anyways, we got Florida Panthers, Buffalo Sabres. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Florida getting thumped, but well, not really thumped, but they lost to Ottawa there the other night, and they spanked Boston the other night. Buffalo, I don't think they're the team that's going to do it. I'm going with Florida.
Well, the Florida Panthers, Matthew Tkachuk's out of the lineup tonight. He's got an illness. That
definitely. I'm still going with the Panthers. And Barkov's out. You know what? Buffalo. Switch your picks, people. Don't listen to me. We're going Buffalo Sabres, baby.
Might have had some rat poison.
Perhaps.
Tkachuk is out.
Of course, tonight on Hockey Night in Canada, buddy. First Hockey Night in Canada of the year.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is true.
The first Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey Night in Canada Saturday night. They will invite Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, and the Pittsburgh Penguins to town as the Maple Leafs take on the Penguins at 5 p.m. I'm going to have to go with the Leafs. I'm going to have to go with the Toronto Maple Leafs on that one.
Ooh, Toronto Maple Leafs. Anthony Stolarz looked good in that 1-0 loss. He gets to start tonight. You got to be careful, man.
No, he's not getting the start tonight. It's Hillaby. Darren Hillaby is getting the start tonight.
Oh, okay, so that's cool. But also, to my point, Matthews and Marner have yet to, as well as Nylander, have yet to touch the score sheet. I look for a big game out of those three, man. 2 games is too long for those guys to be off the score sheet. So I look for a big game from.
Well, if you're William Nylander, 2 games, you can miss 2 games with just a headache. So apparently,
yeah.
Apparently, 2 games isn't too long not to go scoring.
Reason why that guy wears slip-on shoes. Don't want to bend over, pull your back, tying those bad boys up.
No doubt. We got lots of games here tonight. We got lots of games. We got Hurricanes and Lightning getting postponed because of Hurricane. What's that hurricane? Martin?
Milton Bradley.
Milton, that's right. Milton. Hurricane Milton absolutely destroying central, eastern, western Florida, absolutely desecrating that whole state. Prayers for them, but that game got postponed. We got Utah Hockey Club, New York Rangers. This, I think, will be an excellent matchup.
I'm going Rangers.
Rangers. I think Utah's going hot. I think they're riding the momentum of changing cities and getting that new, fresh environment. I think a lot of these players were a little tired of playing in front of 12 fans in Arizona, and now they're kind of relishing the fact that they're one of the marquees in their city. So I'm going to go with Utah. I think they're going to get off to a hot start, like we were saying earlier. Dylan Gunter coming out of the gates firing. You got Clayton Keller, the new captain, really doing a good job with that club. New coaches, new owner. Owner seems to be all in, going with the Utah. But the Rangers are definitely a Stanley Cup contender. You can never, ever count the Rangers out of these games.
Never, man. And, you look at Utah Hockey Club, like Ryan Smith, the owner of that franchise, like goes into the locker room, asks the guys, like, hey, what do we need out here to have you be successful? And the things that the players said, they're like, hey, like, we just want like protein shakes after the game. Like, we want to be able to, stay in a little bit of a nicer hotel. We want a gym in our arena. We want, like better flights, things that like a team like the Oilers with an owner like Daryl Cates, like doesn't even bat an eye at, like signs the check. Here you go, here you go, here you go. So the NHL used to be 31 and a half teams. We're finally up to 32 full teams. The Utah Hockey Club is looking good. I think Utah could surprise and sneak. I think they're a wild card team this year. They could definitely.
Like I said, that division is a little wide open for that number 3 spot. I got Edmonton and Vancouver taking those first 2 spots. So you definitely could have Utah. You could have LA, who got that spot last year. There's a couple of teams. Seattle's another team in there for that 3rd division spot. So there will be 3 teams coming out of that division. And like you said, I think Utah's got a great shot. They got a couple good goaltenders in Ingram and whoever their backup is. But I like Ingram. He's a good goaltender.
Vejmelka is their backup.
Karel Vejmelka. That's right. The Czech right-handed goalie.
Right-handed catching goalie. Let's go.
Speaking of the Seattle Kraken, they will be facing the Minnesota Wild tonight. Minnesota-Seattle. That's an interesting matchup. I'm going to have to go with Seattle in that one.
Beautiful Jessica Campbell behind the bench. Hard to watch the game with that beauty.
Well, hey, I mean, trailblazing, pioneering a new position for females in the NHL. Shout out to Jessica Campbell.
You got
Islanders Stars. That could be like a freaking Stanley Cup preview. You never know. It's possible.
Man, you love the Islanders, bro. I don't think the Islanders are doing shit this year, and you're fucking planning the parade in Long Island. I love it.
I'm telling you, man. This team is people are sleeping. Even you are sleeping on this team. This team was a decent team last year. They got a little bit beat up in the playoffs there. But I think that experience for a young team like the Islanders is going to pay dividends in the end. They needed to get the shit kicked out of them in order to learn what it takes to win. Just like the Oilers, they had to lose that Game 7 in order to get over the hump. I don't think this is going to be a 2006 Game 7 where they don't make the playoffs again for 10 years. I think this is the same kind of situation where the Islanders got absolutely trounced against the Rangers last year. The Rangers were way up there. And now, I think they learned from that experience, and they're a much better team. But I still got the Stars tonight.
Yeah, I honestly think the Islanders are going to be sellers. I see Brock Nelson being dealt off. They have Peter Engvall that Lou Lamoriello signed to a 7-year contract. He's in the minors right now. Like, Lou Lamoriello, like, that dude, man, I swear he sleeps standing up in a coffin. Lou Lamoriello.
He may be Dracula's big brother or something. I don't know. Lou Lamoriello, yeah, he's a little bit too old school for the modern day. I mean, he's been doing this for 40 years now being a
Oh yeah.
GM. So I mean,
Shit.
and so his approach is a little bit outdated, but he's been successful everywhere he's gone. That's something you can't deny. I mean, he's even let's not forget where the Islanders were a few years ago. They weren't the best team. I mean, when they got rid of Tavares, they were right there near the cellar of the NHL. And they brought Lamoriello in. He's turned that team into a playoff team. I mean, he had plenty of success in New Jersey. But I still have the Stars tonight. I think the Stars are one of the contenders for the
Oh,
Stanley
for
Cup.
sure.
I really do.
Sure. I totally.
Yeah, Avalanche and Blue Jackets.
Oh,
The Blue Jackets and
chat.
Avalanche.
Sure.
What's up, Ace? Thanks for tuning in, brother. We have lots of people tuning in. We got to thank everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to like, follow, and share. We got the Islanders. Oh, we just did that one. Blue Jackets and Avalanche. That's what we. Blue Jackets and Avalanche. So we got the Blue Jackets. We got Avalanche. I'm on Avs. I just don't see the Blue Jackets being able to overcome the firepower of the Colorado Avalanche here.
Yeah, that's gonna be deep. That's definitely gonna be deep.
We got the Flyers and Flames. I think this is going to be a good competitive game. I liked what I saw from the Flyers yesterday, but this is the second game in a short turnover for the Flyers. I'm going to have to go with the Flames. The Flames seem like they found their scoring touch. If they could just get a little bit of goaltending at the right time, I mean, they could win this game definitely.
Oh yeah, hardworking team.
Ducks and Sharks also coming up. That's one of our last ones in Oilers and Blackhawks. So
I'm definitely going Oilers over the Blackhawks, and I think San Jose sneaks by Anaheim.
San Jose sneaks by Anaheim.
Pellegrini.
Yeah, okay. I could take that. I mean, it's a coin flip game. I think either way. I do like the Ducks. Like I said, I do think they'll be contending for a possible playoff spot if they can get the goaltending. I mean, there's a lot on Dostal to get this team over the hump. They got lots of skill, lots of talent, lots of size, lots of speed. San Jose don't got much to nothing.
It's the Ducks need a lot to go right. They need Leo Carlson to step up after a great rookie season. They need Mason McTavish to take that next step. They need Trevor Zegras to stay healthy and be the point producer that he was. If Troy Terry can get back to the goal-scoring ways of a couple years ago, they could definitely be a team that climbs a little bit. Unfortunately, Pat Verbeek, the GM there, hasn't really shown a willingness to make moves to bring in other veteran guys. So they could be a tweener team, but for me, it's either they're chasing a wild card or they're playing the lottery at the end of the year.
Yeah, I prefer they chase the lottery, because if you're a wild card team and you're not getting that top talent to build your team, I mean, there's only so far you can go doing that over time. Eventually, your whole entire franchise suffers because of that.
Yeah.
So definitely see them having to either go all in and make a couple moves and get some key superstars, or let her back.
I
Have
love
fun, bro. Well, right now, World Series is coming up. We got Dodgers and Mets will play in the National League Championship Series. We got Yankees will face the winner of the game happening right now, Game 5, deciding winner-take-all game. Detroit Tigers, Cleveland Guardians, bottom of 3, 0-0. Guardians up to bat with 1 out. Runners on first and third. The Guardians are pressing right now. Could be a Cleveland Yankees ALCS. Could be a Detroit Yankees one.
I'm keeping up with the Cinderella story. You got to go Detroit.
Oh, I love it. I love Detroit. But being a Canadian, I also got to give props to the Guardians for 4 Canadian players on their team right now at this time. So
Detroit, not a lot of people know this. Detroit known for its safari-like landscapes with its African animals such as lions, tigers, and wings. So you got to love it.
That's right. The sports scene keeping that Detroit Zoo fully furnished.
Fully furnished. Big day today, you know, for myself. The Thanksgiving festivities starting off. We're gonna go to the brother-in-law's house here soon with my wife, and you know, grab her family, and then hopefully be back in time to watch Oilers hockey, which
Yeah,
is
no doubt. Oilers hockey. That game starts, I believe, at 7,
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. All right, 8 o'clock. That is definitely going to be watching the Oilers hockey. Of course, happy Thanksgiving to all our viewers in Canada. For the American viewers, it's Thanksgiving here, not next month. It's Thanksgiving now. Uh, I mean, I do love the Thanksgiving football in America, but yeah. So happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Hopefully everyone enjoys their time at with their loved ones and whatnot, and has something to give thanks for. Of course, we all have something to give thanks for. Jordy, what are you thankful for?
Family.
Family, just like me. And living, love it. I mean, the simple things you got to be grateful for, and that's exactly it, brother.
The simple things in life, you know, such as being thankful for the Shirts and Skins app. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to download the Shirts and Skins app today. If you're looking to host a game outside, if you're looking for a game outside, ladies and gentlemen, go to Shirts and Skins. You want to play basketball, maybe there's a pickup game going on. Maybe you want to set a pickup game. Get your Shirts and Skins app and get in the game.
You know what we did not touch on? I think we need to touch on this. We did not speak of bad blood at all yet. I don't think we've spoke on bad blood because we had a WWE premier live event go down in Atlanta, Georgia. We had CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, absolute bloodbath going down in Hell in a Cell. Did you see that?
That was wild, bro.
That was absolutely nuts. I can't believe he took the edge of that empty toolbox and just split him like he hit him with a freaking axe, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Not to mention when Drew went for that Claymore kick in the corner of the stairs, went up his arse. Like, that was
man, I saw all the L vertebrae, like the L20, just snap, just turned to dust. That was unbelievable.
Definitely turned into a 19 and a half. Oh, now my wife knows what I'm doing. Son of a bitch.
Hi, Cat.
I'm outside.
Yeah, we had that. We had Damian Priest beating Finn Balor. I don't know. I think Finn Balor and Lord Farquaad don't have much left on their rope.
Bro, to me, Finn Balor, man, he was like that 15-minute of fame, Hawk to a girl style, where he burst onto the scene. He had that demon entrance. Everybody thought it was the coolest thing, but the worst thing to happen to him, unfortunately, was when he tore that shoulder right off his body, and he hasn't got any momentum since, man. He's good. I like him as a heel. He plays a pretty decent chicken shit heel, but I don't think I could take a guy like that seriously in the main event. Upper mid card, okay, yeah, he always has good matches, but there's never going to be a time where, say, it's Finn Balor and Gunther for the world title where I'm going to be like, oh, I need to tune into that. He just doesn't. I respect him. I think he does great work. I just don't think he's the number one guy. And also, to me, the Judgment Day is like, it has its moments. It's good, but it's just such a weird collection of superstars together. Like, you know, you got Carlito, Lord Farquaad, you got Dominic, who's doing his thing with Liv, and now Raquel Rodriguez. So it's, I don't know, man. I'm not quite sure what's going on.
What was that one where it had like Sheamus and freaking Alberto Del Rio and freaking Rusev? The what?
The United Nation.
Oh, the United Nations. That's what this Judgment Day kind of reminds me of, where you just kind of have this multicultural group of people that just kind of, you know, at one point you had the Puerto Rican and an Australian and a Hispanic American and a European, and now you have Europeans and another different Puerto Rican and an American woman now. It's just kind of getting a little bit out of hand. I mean, I love Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio, definitely one of the best
Oh,
things going in WWE
bro,
right now.
that guy just risking his whole Achilles, his whole hip, his knee, ankle, the way he just fell out of that shark cage hanging like that. Like, dude, like there's a reason why when they would eliminate you back in the day by having you dangle, something would snap, and it's because that's a lot of weight, bro. Like, he's lucky his ankle didn't get torn right from his friggin' foot, dude.
Oh yeah,
I saw that.
you can even do something simple like a blood clot like that. That's pretty much a noose around your leg, cutting off the circulation. I mean, that could easily. It could potentially. It has the potential to kill the man. I mean, let's be honest.
Oh yeah, no, that was brutal. You know, Dominic Mysterio does it just like his father, man. Eddie Guerrero never held back when it came to entertaining, and Dominic, he's the same, man. A chip off the old block. Like, I'm saying it right now, man, and I haven't been wrong. I called, Dylan Gunther having a breakout season. I've already called the Darnell Nurse thing. You got Nostradamus sitting beside you, but I'm going to come up with another bold prediction. Dominic Mysterio breaks the World Heavyweight Championship reign. He's getting at least 18 world titles in his day. Dominic Mysterio all the way. They might not be.
Definitely see that.
They might not be in WWE. It might be some indie federation that he makes 10 years from now. But Dominic Mysterio, record holder. Guinness, Ripley's Believe It or Not. I'm calling it now. Let's go!
Go back to Finn Balor. He's the kind of guy that I think could actually benefit from the WWE if they had a cruiserweight or light heavyweight division. I mean, I think guys like Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, I mean, you could even give some relevance to Lord Farquaad if you had that kind of division. You could give these Dragon Lees and all these smaller flippy floppy type, the Ricochets and whatnot, the guys who have left because they're undersized, the Adam Coles. These guys could all be top-notch talent if they had that cruiserweight division a little more amplified in WWE. It seems like they tried to do this silly purple belt in NXT for their cruiserweight title, and it just didn't stick. If they had a true cruiserweight, light heavyweight world championship belt, I definitely could see some of these smaller, less relevant superstars get over, right?
Yeah, make it look like a title. Don't make it look like a gimmick.
Yeah.
Title when it looks like you got a silver plate on the front of it with a purple belt. That's too different, man. You want a nice looking traditional championship.
That's something. And to be honest with you, only people I could see with that purple belt right now are the Judgment Day, because I mean that's pretty much their theme. Like, but other than that, I don't see anybody wanting to go out and be like, oh man, when I was a kid growing up, I just wanted to win that purple NXT Cruiserweight Championship belt.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I definitely, I couldn't agree more.
That's the next for Rhea Ripley? Is she going to take on Nia Jackson trying to get that big belt, or since she lost to Liv Morgan there? What's the plan with those two?
I think what they're going to do with Ripley is they're going to have her move into a feud with Raquel Rodriguez, and those two are actually really good friends in real life, Rhea and Raquel. So, and you look at them, man, they're both built like brick shit houses. They're big, they're strong. I don't want to sound sexist, but they work like the guys. You can tell that they were trained on how to sell, how to work properly, how to manipulate the crowd. So I like that sort of thing. And what I mean by that is when you watch Rhea Ripley work and then you watch Liv Morgan work, I'm not like, there's just that like little bit of a difference in the nuances on how they do things. Like Rhea is really good at, halfway through a match, the first 5 minutes of the match, someone worked on her knee. So she gets back into control. She'll go to a corner and she'll shake that leg out as if her knee is still bothering her. So I really like stuff like that. What up, Cheryl? So yeah. So I
say
love
hi, Granny. I guess say hi to Granny. Yeah. There you go, Mom.
Granny.
Anyways, yeah, I like Raquel and Rhea. couple of strong women who could do some more power maneuvers. I mean, when you're 120 pounds, 115 pounds, 105 pounds, or you're like Zelina Vega, you're 86 pounds soaking wet, carrying
Yeah.
groceries and a flip flop in your hand. I mean, it kind of limits what you can do in the ring, and I do like seeing the variety of styles. I mean, you got the Rhea Ripley's now, you got the Raquel Rodriguez, you got the Nia Jax, these strong, powerful, old school, reminding me of the Bull Nakanos, the Monster Rippers of the old All Japan days, the actual big, strong women wrestlers. They're definitely been underutilized here, probably since I'd say Beth Phoenix. And Natalia's another one who didn't get utilized near enough. She's another girl who I've always liked, another strong, but you could tell these women are classically trained by actual professional wrestlers, and they're not just a couple of search contest model winners, you know?
Yeah, no, I hear you. You know, speaking of, like, the one thing that really drives me kind of crazy is, like, yeah, you know, like, the TNA back in the day were so good with having Awesome Kong take on Gail Kim. And WWE just doesn't work that style of match. And you have to have the smaller competitor like a dog on a bone when it comes to taking on the bigger person. Like, you got to kick that leg 200 or 300 times and then hit a big time move to get them off their feet. Like, there's too many times where Zelina Vega will get in there with a Rhea Ripley and there's an arm drag, an arm drag, an arm drag. And it's like, bro, that just doesn't look good. Like, it just doesn't. You got to make it look a little more believable. You can have a smaller competitor win, but you got to make it look a little more believable.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if it goes back to the days of HAW, where you had the Bull Nakanos, the Dump Matsumotos. They were just beating on the Crutch Gals. They were beating on the Jumping Bomb Angels and all that. And you know, they were monster heels. It didn't matter what these face little women would do, whether it was their spinning karate kicks or whatnot. These giant women would just come in and beat the tar out of them. And that's basically the base of women's professional wrestling. I mean, you could go back to Mildred Burke. I mean, she was the one who brought women's wrestling to Japan. She's the one who pretty much popularized it in America. So she come over, she brought the WWA belt, the WWWA belt, trained all these Japanese competitors, and now, you know, that's the style I like to see. I like to see these big women coming in just being monsters. You know, back in the day, you had Monster Ripper, Dump, you had Bull, you had Aja Kong. You had a bunch of big women, like you said, and they kind of carried over with the Awesome Kong, with the Gail Kim, where you had that big monster heel trying to beat down this little girl, and you know, eventually, you know, you get the payout. Eventually the little one wins, but you know, it took forever. Whereas you got Zelina Vega winning Queen of the Ring or Queen's Crown or whatever the heck it was called. I don't know. I just
Different.
Zelina Vega.
Yeah.
There's one I don't know. I don't know about Zelina Vega. I mean, her and Liv Morgan are two that I'm just like, what are they doing here?
Yeah, no, same, bro. Liv Morgan, to me, like, man, if there's a 15 minutes of fame, like, she's going on 45 to an hour now. Like, I never ever really saw what was in her other than, oh, Liv Morgan, she's hot. But when it comes to her work and stuff like that, like, yeah, she cut a promo, but I just don't like when we're in a world where we're supposed to, you know, respect each other and not, you know, oh, like, look at them as a body or look at them as attractive or whatever. We're supposed to appreciate the work. And then she's cutting a promo in little booty shorts and purposely stands like she's Bret Hart looking at a monitor and half of her ass is hanging out and she's trying to talk seriously. And I'm just like, dude, I cannot take you serious.
No.
Like, you look like you're about to ask me for $5 right now. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, she looks like she comes straight out of the trailer court to work, and you know, she looks like a Applebee's waitress pretty much to me. I mean,
100%, man. No, 100%. And then you got, like, yeah, like you said, like, talented women there. Like, you got like the Natalias, you got the Bianca Belairs and stuff like that, who are beautiful, but like you look at them when they're in the ring and you're like, you get lost in the actual match. And to me, Morgan has not had one of those moments in her entire career, not one. So
No, not one at all. I mean, you could say her maybe cashing in Money in the Bank was her thing, but I mean, it's a Money in the Bank cash in. You really didn't have to do much. I mean, the other two competitors, or however many competitors there were, did all the work, and you came in, did a 1, 2, 3 on Ronda Rousey, did your bit, and that's not, to me, that's not really one of those big cash in kind of
and then
scenarios.
skedaddle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Then she got fired, didn't she? She got suspended or whatever.
Well, she
And
got
one
hurt.
thing I did like from Bad Blood, Gunter calling out Bill Goldberg.
That was good. That was good shit. So they're probably gonna have a match here. It's looking like the people of Crown Jewel of Saudi Arabia, they want Bill Goldberg on the card. The people of Saudi Arabia love Bill Goldberg. Of course, the people of Saudi Arabia tried to use some voodoo magic to get Yokozuna on the last card. So we'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah. I like how they bring in the fake guys. You got a bunch of fake Diesels and Razor Ramones out there just doing their thing and whatnot. So definitely love that for the entertainment value. But a little bit, if they want Goldberg, they get Goldberg. They get the real deal this time. So look out, Saudi Arabia. They made that belt. What do you think of this Crown Jewel Championship belt?
Man, it's hard. It's hard to even think of the Crown Jewel belt. I'm a little jealous, though, of some of those Saudi Arabian fans when they're sitting in the front row and they're all on Lazy Boys. Like, I love that shit, man. Like, look out into the crowd and, like, the whole first 5 rows are, like, the premium seats in a movie theater. They're all just, like, sitting there kicking it. They all have so much money that they pay somebody else to cheer for them. Like, I love that shit. Like, they're like, I'm not
just extravagant luxuries.
It's
the extravagance.
It's a nice belt, but to me, again, like a gimmick thing. So what are they gonna do? Like, they're gonna have this Crown Jewel belt that people only wear on Crown Jewel. So Crown Jewel is its own separate thing. And to me, when you're a week by week by week by week show, and then all of a sudden you go to Saudi Arabia, you still air it on your network. It's just weird how like certain people are heels here and then faces there. And I know it's wrestling, but you don't want to confuse the audience. So I don't know what's going to happen with this belt. It does look nice. Like it does look, but again, the green strap, the Saudi Arabian green strap, the Crown Jewel colors. So
I'd like to see them do a tournament style format for this. I mean, make it like a King of the Ring. It is the Crown Jewel Championship belt, right? So I think it would make sense if they did a King of the Ring-esque style tournament to crown the first winner. I don't know how they're going to go about crowning the winner or what the prerequisites are in order to qualify to get this title belt. Is it on a fan vote or like I said, I'd like to see a championship tournament, one night, King of the Ring style, go out. The King of the Ring is now the Crown Jewel champion or whatever. That kind of deal. That's the only way I see it getting any sort of relevance. I mean, you can make a star with a tournament. Just ask Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, for sure, you definitely can if you go about it the right way. I agree with that.
I mean, you could. I don't know how many Arab wrestlers are still in the WWE. Mustafa Ali got released. Maximum Male Models got released. I don't know if there's like a hometown favorite for this belt right now.
Bring back the great Khali. Bring him in.
Jinder Mahal, baby.
Yeah. Hinder the Jinder. Of course, Jinder
Mahan. Veer Mahan is going to be the first ever Crown Jewel champion.
Oh, man. Yeah, bring him in. I always love the story of Mansoor there, the Maximum Male Model, Mansoor, where they had him go there because he's obviously of Saudi descent, but he didn't fucking speak a lick of Saudi. So he's there like doing these press conferences and Vince McMahon's like, what the hell? You don't even know what you're talking about, kid. That's good shit.
That's the good shit right there. I wonder what they're doing with the Wyatt Six too. I'm kind of disappointed they didn't use him in Bad Blood in any angle. I mean, they had some real momentum going there. Instead, you have Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns against Solo Sikoa and freaking Jacob Fatu, where Jimmy comes out, like we've been saying for months now. Jimmy's going to come out. And then The Rock comes out. It was funny. I was watching that with my old man, with my dad, and I said, right as soon as Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns face off in the middle of the ring, I said, oh, that's it. Now The Rock's going to come out and he's going to challenge Roman Reigns. And my prediction right now is it's going to be Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania, and they're going to try to outshine John Cena's last match.
I keep hearing that the pitch was actually a triple threat where they were going to have Roman, Rock, and Cody. But we'll have to see what happens. It's all speculation right now, but apparently The Rock I don't know if he'll be able to do it because of his schedule. Maybe it'll be sooner. Maybe it'll be a little bit after, but we'll see. That People's Championship, though, bro. I love it, man. Such heel tactics, just coming out with his own belt. The best show was he comes out, doesn't cut a promo, leaves, and cuts a promo on Instagram. You got to love The Rock.
Oh, yeah, keeping it real. Rock keeping kayfabe alive. His ancestors would be very proud. High Chief Maivia would love it. I'm sure of it.
No, it's good. It's good shit. So, yeah, man, we'll cut her. I gotta get going here, get the day started. We're meeting up in a couple hours, so
all right, brother.
We'll keep things snug. Hopefully tomorrow we can touch base again. If not, unfortunately, due to scheduling things, we will at least try to get one a week minimum. So we're good to go.
Back, baby. Shirts and Skins app. Don't forget to check her out. 780 Pizza, all that good stuff. Wrestling with Bigfoot Podcast. We're on the outs. It's too sweet, baby.